Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Modern Living with Dr. Angela. I'm your host, Dr. Angela Chester. Today's episode is the communication jungle. Everyone communicates in one way or another, but very few people have mastered the skills of truly effective communication. Effective communication involves a lot more than just being able to speak clearly or without being nervous, or even making sure that you've written your email correctly. When it comes to successful marriages, couples, or even families, it's critical that we develop strong and clear communication keys for the person that we're speaking to. The key to any success in our lives is being able to effectively and efficiently communicate your idea. Join us as we get some tips for better communication. Our show sponsors today are Buku Now and Lipstick Chronicles Magazine. Lipstick Chronicles Magazine can be found on Facebook at facebook.com/lc.emag and on Instagram at instagram.com/lc_mag. We hope you visit them. But first, we have an awesome group of guys that we're going to interview, and they are with none other than a communications company called Lion Universe, and you can find them at lionuniverse.com. So I'm going to bring them in now. Enoch and Dwayne, are you there? Hello? Oh, no, it looks like we may have lost them. Let's see. We're going to try one more time. I tell you, technology, we can't live with it, can't live without it. Let's try to bring them on one more time.
We're here.
Okay, now we can hear you great. Thanks so much for joining us today, guys.
I got it.
So, tell me, who is this Lion Universe? Tell me a little bit about your company.
Okay, I'd like to tell you that Lion Universe purpose is to change the way people communicate by providing quality products and services at a price that won't stretch your budget. Affordable without compromising is our goal. And as the engineer and designer of these products, we give you absolutely the best product on the market comparing to the big names like Apple and Samsung. So Lion Universe is here to stay, and those are our goals.
Who you with?
I love it. So you're telling me that with Lion Universe, I can come to you and I'm able to, like I would with any other location, come in and pick out a phone and have
yes,
service.
right now you'd have to do it online, but
Okay.
yes, we will be having locations. But you can pick your phone directly from us online and our tablets and all our products. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Okay, phones and tablets. So are we talking a small little flip phone? Are we talking kind of a normal size? What type of screen size do you have?
Okay, the screen size. Designing this phone and being around the manufacturers and watching how the phone sizes are changing, my whole plan was to have a larger screen so you can do projects and see exactly what you're doing. And I've always kept in mind of the gaming world. So our screen is a 6-inch screen, which is a very nice size screen. And it shows you all the information that's on the tablet phone, you can see it clearly. So that was the design. It's a 6-inch screen. It comes with a case, but even though my marketing director says only 100, the first 100 comes with a case. And that's the 6-inch screen.
Also, that we have that 10-inch tablet, that Tigline, the super highway, the technology on that.
Okay. So we are talking bigger screen on the phone with a 6-inch screen, not the little tiny little 3 or 4 screen that we were used to of times ago, but you've given us more screen so we can definitely see, and thank you. I appreciate that because I am one of those people who work off of my phone as well. And then a 10-inch tablet. Okay. Now, I see that you've also made some changes, or you've included some ports so that we have dual ports. What are dual ports?
Oh, that's fantastic. When you have over 45% of the world having 2 cell phones, one to do business with and one for personal, it came into my mind that I need to design this phone with 2 phone ports, where you can come and have one for business and one for pleasure, and you can also do conferencing for 6 people on this baby. So the dual port is fantastic, and we're not the only one. You can buy dual ports. You have to find them. But the design on the line was specifically for 2 separate phone lines. So let's say you're on Verizon. You have a Verizon SIM card. You can drop a Verizon SIM card in one of the ports. Bingo, you're working. But let's say you have a cheap phone, like let's just use Sprint, and then one of their cheap phones that have a SIM card. You can take that SIM card, drop it in the other port. So we're not locked into any type of a carrier, and this phone is unlocked for the consumer to save money. You don't have to go with plans. You can purchase the phone, and the plan that you're on, that you can just use that particular phone company.
Also, Doctor, I'd like to say this is a premium phone. This is not just no regular phone. The line is a premium phone. The tablet is also a premium tablet. So you can't find this phone anywhere else in the United States. This tablet has 2 ports on it, and you can talk on it at the same time and do your work.
That's awesome.
Have it in your hand to see it. Yeah, you got to have it in your hand to see it.
That's awesome. Now, especially for many people that are doing business, they're really handling business on their phones. It's kind of like their little satellite office or their office on the go. What about memory? How does that work on your tablet or on your phone?
Oh, this is fantastic. I am a designer, and I like to keep all our prototypes for the corporation and company on my phone. So therefore, I need a lot of memory storage. And if you look at it compared to Apple, which is the big boy, I like to always look at them, you can buy their phones with different memory, but once you choose a memory of 32 gigabyte, 64, they're standard with 16 gigabyte, you're stuck with that. Now with the line phone, we come standard with 16 gigabyte. And you can buy one of our memory cards that have 32 gigabyte if you're doing a lot of stuff on your phone, and say that you want to store all your private business and your banking on your phone, you can go with 64 gigabyte. You can go up to 128. We'll sell you that memory card. It's fantastic. Nobody's doing that.
Awesome.
This is
so
the super
your
highway.
phone can grow with you. Okay.
Yes, it can.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. I was just making a comment of it's awesome that your phone can grow with you. Most of the time, like you said, especially if you're an Apple user, you have to choose, is it, 16 or 32? But the fact that it can grow with you is awesome. Go ahead.
And you have to purchase another phone. You cannot add to that memory. Once you choose it and pay for it, not with Lion Universe.
Yeah, this is the super highway of technology, the Lion.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know that would be a selling point for me. As business booms, you need more space, and you want anything that you purchase to be able to grow with you and not have to keep repurchasing the same item just because you either have brand loyalty or you like a particular feature of the phone. That's a great idea. Now, what about everyone is, you see all of these commercials and it talks about like 3G and 4G and lightning bolts everywhere. What does your phone have to offer as far as that's concerned?
Well, first of all, it doesn't have any apps on it. No pre-apps.
Okay, so you don't have any of that unnecessary stuff on your phone?
Let me talk about the 3G. The whole world is on 3G. Only the United States is using 4G, and Canada. And so when this phone was designed, I said I wanted 4G speed, but I wanted 3G capability so the world can use this phone. And so, yes, that's the design behind it. So without getting technical, I went with a certain core on the phone, very expensive core called Quad. And this core whips around really fast, pulls down the CPU, and it makes the 3G fly like a 4G. And a lot of clients have these plans, and you get through the middle of the month, your plan drops down to 3G, and if you notice, it's harder for you to download. And you're like, what is it? In the middle of your plan, but these companies haven't told you, oh, you're only getting so much 4G, now we're cutting you to 3 so we can make money. Well, my phone doesn't never slow down.
Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome. And I know anyone out there who has children, if you are on a shared plan, that is, kind of a little mumble and grumble that I've heard of, is that, you get halfway through, like you said, or halfway through your month, and your phone just tends to slow down. Unless you can purchase more or something to speed it back up, you're kind of stuck being slow.
That's how
they make
money, Doctor. That's how the companies make money. They cut your service down. But speaking of parents, I had a lady that bought an Apple tablet and she bought an Apple 6. She was out of $1,500 for her son. Her son lost the 5-inch phone, $500 down the drain. So he doesn't have a phone to communicate. I told her, if you'd have bought the Lion 10-inch for only $799, I'm giving you a $1,500 value, he would have never lost his phone because he has 2 phones on his big tablet. So now he's doing his work and calling mom. So he had to have one. You see what I mean?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, I cannot. I've been there before. I have 3 boys, and needless to say, we've lost more than 3 phones. So because it just happens.
Who you with?
And kids are gonna do right. Wish I would have known then, right?
Right.
Now,
I got to tell you one other feature before we get cut loose. It's a feature that I've done on the phone that it helps the blind. There's a feature on my phone called TalkBack. If you ever turn this on, it'll drive you crazy because it hears everything you say. So like you would say, doctor, call my son John. My phone would say, calling John for you. After John hangs up and you talk, the phone's going to answer you. Like, I wonder if I can go to Starbucks. Find me a local Starbucks. Well, it's GPS on my phone.
Gotcha.
So it goes up to the light and says the local Starbucks is right here, and it tells you how to get there. You have to turn this thing off. It'll drive you crazy if you're not handicapped because it talks to you the whole time.
But that is such an awesome feature. Oh, that is an awesome feature. That was great thinking, planning on you guys' part, because the average person doesn't think about that. We just use our phones the way that we use them, and we don't think about people that are more on the disabled side that still need to get around. They still need to be able to make phone calls. So that's an awesome idea. Or if you're a little bit older and you're starting to have problems with your vision, having your phone respond to you, who wouldn't want an assistant to kind of just do exactly what they're supposed to do? That's an awesome feature. Now, I wanted to ask you.
It comes on the phone for you. All you do is turn it on when you need it. So you turn the phone on, you got 9 hours of talk. That's the most I can get. So it's been tested 100 times by the family. So you got 9 hours of talk time. You're doing it, and if it's all voice correspondent for the blind. You got 7 phones. But that'll get you to and from. You see what I mean?
Also,
that is awesome.
It's so many features on the phone. Pardon me, Dwayne. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just going to tell about the gaming that's on the phone for the kids.
Oh, wow.
The gaming is so off the chain that my son just loves it. The kids love it. Every kid I let play with it.
See, when it comes to gaming, I added a graphic card to this program. So all your explosions and all your bright lights, it comes like almost 3D off the picture, but it's not 3D, and you get to see your games in a much better vision. You see what I mean?
Now I know that, like you said, the teens and gamers are definitely going to appreciate that feature. Games have become almost just super realistic nowadays, and the children of now are the gamers of, and now very specifically the teens, because if you're a little bit older and you know that games have advanced. I'm old enough to have received one of the first Ataris. I won't go into that anymore. So I know that graphics have really, really improved, so that's an awesome feature. Well, I'm going to ask you one last question because I know you guys have to go. What is the pricing like? Am I going to be blown away by pricing, or am I going to just be blown away by your pricing? What do you think?
Enoch.
Yes.
Before you answer that, I also want to say the 10-inch comes in Microsoft and Android, so they can pick whatever one they want when they make an order. They can pick Microsoft or Android. Now give them the great price, buddy.
Okay, here's the great price. On the 6-inch phone, which is the $8.99 phone, we're only asking $2.99. Now I got choked for having such a low price by my business coach and developer. She's like, you're trying to give them away. But I want everybody to have this top-notch communication. Once you take this line phone, you won't want any other phone, I'm telling you. It does everything for you super fast. And the price is fantastic. So on that 6-inch is $2.99. And I had mentioned earlier in the show that 10-inch that I told you one of my customers had lost a $500 Apple phone, and she had a 10-inch Apple tablet and couldn't do anything but just use it as a tablet. I'm giving you a tablet, 2 phone lines on a super fast Android program, the KitKat 4.4, at $7.99. So we're trying not to price things out of reach for parents to have, and for people to use.
Yes, awesome.
That's a $1,500 bag.
Awesome. Also, technology is definitely worth the cost because we use it every day, and we've almost gotten to a point where if we don't have it, we're definitely out of the loop. So it's become a necessary item.
Yes, it is. And with the Lion products, pardon me, Dwayne, with the Lion products, you don't get obsolete out of the tech. It stays there with you. You can add memory. You got your 2 phone ports, and any kind of programs you want to download. You can keep this thing for 2 years and not be out of the game. And that's a great thing. You see what I mean?
Most definitely.
One more thing I like to say, if you use Blog Talk Radio, we'll give them a $25 discount.
Awesome!
Thank you.
Awesome!
Oh,
that is so great.
Who you with?
Hear that, listeners? Woo!
Who you with?
Lion Universe.
That's right, Lion Universe. Thank you so much, guys, for spending some time with me today and talking about your awesome communication tool. I really hope that my listeners will at least go over and visit. That is lionuniverse.com. Pick out your new phone or pick out your new tablet, and you have so many options. And if you find something that you like, definitely remember to use that Blog Talk Radio code, and you will get a discount. Thank you again, guys, and I hope that your company just blows them out of the water from this point forward. Continued successes, continued blessings on your business, and may Lion Universe just revel in its prosperity. Don't forget me when you guys are bigger than AT&T.
Oh, we will never.
Oh, Doc, hey, I want to say one thing.
Yes.
Hopefully your phone is on the way, and every morning you will start your show with "Who you with?"
That's
Lion
right.
Universe.
And if you don't know the answer, it's Lion Universe. That's it. Thank you so much, guys.
Great. I love it.
Have a great afternoon, you guys, and thank you, listeners, for joining in and listening with me with Enoch and Dwayne of LionUniverse.com. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you. Who you with?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We'll be back right after this.
Looking to build your business? Ready to connect with customers looking for your service? You need Buku Now. At Buku Now, we have the customers. Customers who are using our popular mobile app to find you. They're looking for on-demand services, and they need them now. They're asking for all kinds of services. Services like handyman, heating and cooling, pet sitting, pet grooming, taxi, limo rides, towing, lawn mowing, and landscaping. The list goes on, and so can your earnings. Register your service with Buku Now. It's easy and affordable. Go to BukuNow.com. With Buku Now, you can advertise your services for less, be on demand, or have a local listing. It's low-cost mobile advertising at its best. If you're a painter, a roofer, a maid, a handyman, or plumber, if you remove snow, clean carpets, or walk the dog, go to BukuNow.com now. That's BUKU now.com. Register your service today. Our mobile app customers are searching for your service right now. BukuNow.com.
I'm not a celebrity, but I have a story. I don't walk the red carpet, but I walk an inspiring path. The paparazzi doesn't follow me, but I'm making history. I'm not famous, but my story has to be told. I am a Lipstick Chronicle. Read about me in the next issue of Lipstick Chronicles magazine, available at www.lcmagazine.org.
And we are back. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Modern Living with Dr. Angela. I'm your host, Dr. Angela Chester. Today's topic is the communication jungle. We just finished with an awesome interview with a communications company known as Lion Universe, and you can find them at LionUniverse.com. They have some really great phones and tablets to make it that they've made available for purchase, and everyone should definitely stop by there and see what they have. They may have a product for you. Well, in our last few minutes of the show, I'm just going to give you some quick tips on how you can increase your communication style. The one thing that we really need to make sure that we're doing when we communicate to another person is really listening. You want to listen without interruption. You're not listening to figure out when you can jump into the conversation, but really listening and hearing what the other person has to say. Many times we get that in the conversation. You're not listening to me. You haven't heard a word that I've said. So really, really, really listen to the other person. Listening is critical. The other thing I want you to remember is that there are differences between you and the other person. It could be gender differences. It could be cultural differences. It could even be age differences. And because of that simple fact, you're going to hear the other person differently. So if you find that you're not quite grasping what the other person is saying, you don't want to challenge the person, but instead you want to ask for clarification. And one way that you do that is to ask, are you asking me to? Are you saying, and then state what you believe the other person is saying. If that isn't correct, then hopefully the other person will restate what they're trying to communicate to you. Sometimes that even gets a little tricky, but don't worry. We'll talk about that in another episode. But last but not least is do not argue someone's feelings when they are communicating with you. What does that mean? If your spouse says, well, you know what, I feel like you're not really in this relationship. You have to be very careful with expressions or comments like that. I feel, because you have to determine if the person is really stating that they have this emotion, this feeling, or if they're using the word feeling as though it's a statement, just a part of their normal communication. Well, I feel that it's warm outside. I feel that it's this way. But if it's an emotion, it's hard to argue that. Why? Because if it's their emotion, then it's true to them, and there's nothing you can do about that. Something that makes you happy may not make someone else happy, but that doesn't mean that it didn't make you happy. Just because something isn't necessarily true for another doesn't mean that it isn't true for the other person. Well, I'm going to give you just a few scriptures that remind us about communication. The first is Ecclesiastes 5:2, and that is, do not be quick with your mouth. Do not be hasty in your heart to utter anything before God. We need to be very aware of what we're saying and how we are saying it. The next is Proverbs 15:2. The tongue of the wise commands knowledge, but the mouth of the fool gushes folly. That's right. The mouth of the fool just talks jibber-jabber, foolishness, craziness, just talking up the side of your neck kind of thing. Even back then, they knew that a smart person, the wise tongue, commends knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish gushes out folly. Don't be the foolish person. Don't be the foolish person. And last but not least, we are going to do Proverbs 16:23. Proverbs 16:23. The wise man's heart guides his mouth, and his lips promote instruction. Proverbs 16:23. A wise man's heart guides his mouth, and his lips promote instruction. Be the wise person that promotes instruction and not gushes folly. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Modern Living with Dr. Angela. I'm your host, Dr. Angela Chester. If you happen to be in the Long Beach, California area, or within LA County or even Orange County, we'd love to see you in the office. You can visit us at www.newlifepastoralcounseling.com or give us a call at 562-209-2083, 562-209-2083. We'd be more than happy to assist you in your communication skills or anything else that you believe that you could get counseling or coaching on. We'd like to thank our guest one more time, Doreen and Enoch of LionUniverse.com, and as well as our show sponsors, Buku Now and Lipstick Chronicles magazine. May you be blessed in the Lord this week and have an awesome day. Until next time, bye-bye.